Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So today we are heading over to Harley Davidson of Scottsdale. So this is the 2021 Sport Glide. The reason why I'm excited about this bike is because I've been very critical of this motorcycle. Now I've been saying this should be a better Street Glide Mini, and it's amazing how just color matching those bags make that really happen. Previously it used to just be kind of this black plastic finish that was just, in my opinion, looked like, I don't know, I kind of like to say it's more like punishing people for not being able to afford a Street Glide or not wanting a full-size bike. I also wish they would put the 114 in this because with the name Sport. With that being said, I am very happy that they made the changes that they did make. Now, on this ride, there's a good chance that my forward-facing GoPro craps out on me because I'm almost out of battery, and rookie mistake, I did not bring another one with me, but I should have enough on the 360 camera to finish this ride. I am really excited about the changes on this motorcycle. Again, just the color matching bags is a big deal to me. I do still think they should put a larger fairing on this bike, just make it a little bit more of a legitimate fairing than just more of what I would consider to be like trim around a headlight, is kind of what the take I have on it is right now, is more trim than a fairing. So I would like to see a little bit more from that, maybe even find a way to incorporate a phone holder like the quad lock or something like that. Would be kind of cool to have something here. I do like this gray. I think it is a very sharp color, and again, as I was saying in a lot of my other videos, I actually did a concept drawing of what I thought that the Sport Glide should look like, and that of course was almost really just a literal take on the Street Glide. Now with these color matched bags, I'm actually kind of backing off of that thought a little bit. I think, and it's just kind of hard to envision until you see it, but I think that the color matched bags is kind of enough to make it look, sorry I'm going bro, to make it look more like its bigger brother, I guess you'd call it. And it's very different to get used to the foot peg as opposed to floorboards that I'm very, very used to. But yeah, from a position of like a sportier Street Glide, then yeah, I think that it makes sense to have the pegs versus floorboards. And this is just a really great riding bike. A lot of the Sport Glide riders come and kind of fiercely defend this fairing, and I'm not saying that it's not totally non-functional, but I am saying that it just gives you a lot of wind to have to battle. That on a bike that I think is trying to mimic its larger brother, the Street Glide, should have a little bit more highway wind protection. I was kind of also shortlisted on the Sport Glide, but I went with the Heritage because of the fairing when I bought my bike. But if this had a little more of a fairing, I probably would have went with more of the styling of the Sport Glide because of the time I was newer to riding, and you know, wanted something a little bit lighter than the full-on touring bikes. And I don't know, I would just imagine that this Sport Glide, maybe even with the mini apes from the Heritage, would be kind of an interesting package. So now for people who are considering riding 2-up, I've mentioned this before, the Heritage is more than capable of touring. These Softail bikes are more than capable of touring, but as soon as you add a passenger, that whole conversation changes. When I rode out to Texas, that 2,500 miles in 5 days or whatever it was that I rode, my Heritage was fine. I could do it. Now, if you added somebody on the back, that's where the touring bike just comes in as a much better option, because your passenger is going to be much more comfortable, and your bike, your suspension's not going to be as taxed. I find that when I loaded up my Heritage with myself and 5 days worth of stuff that I traveled with, that the bike was capable of handling it, but I could tell that if I added somebody on the back end of that, good luck. So it's just kind of one of those things where Now somebody's going to drop a comment down below saying that they've toured with their wife on their Softail and they love it, and you know, I'm not saying it's not doable, but I would say it's not preferable. So kind of take that with a grain of salt, but in my opinion, if you are going to be doing any sort of two-up riding, you really want to kind of start looking more towards a touring frame bike than a Softail that has some touring chops to it, if that makes any sense. So that is my take on the Sport Glide. I just wanted to get out here and ride this bike and kind of congratulate Harley Davidson for listening, even just if it's a little bit, with the... What is this guy doing? Don't mind all these motorcycles, man. That person just pulled a Yui right in front of all of us, and then like seemingly pulled over to let us all by, but also created like a huge cluster. So this is the notorious turn that I take super wide every time, but little boot drag there. And yeah, this is a much more compliant bike. Yeah, I mean, this 107 really isn't terrible. Comparing it to my 114, you know, there's some people out there that kind of say, like, is it even worth paying for the extra 114 over the 107? And I'm going to say that, I don't know. I depends on how much money you have, I guess, and what your budget is. I just like to buy the biggest thing that's available, but I'm an idiot, so don't listen to me. Do what you want. This 107 has plenty of power. I would not buy the Sport Glide because they don't offer it in a 114. It's certainly enough power, more than enough power, and I think it's an awesome bike. So, huge fan of the Sport Glide. Thank you, Harley Davidson, for making some minor tweaks with even just color matching the bags that, in my opinion, make this motorcycle just look more premium for the I don't know, $20,000 that you're spending. It's just nice to have that additional fit and finish on those bags for sure. So that is my 2021 Harley Davidson Sport Glide test ride demo days video. Huge fan of this bike, and but now that the bags are color matched, I don't know, I could have seen myself potentially going this route. So this guy kind of like slingshot at me. Thanks, bro, but now I need to catch up, so excuse to get into the throttle. That is my Sport Glide, not Street Glide, Sport Glide 2021 model year review. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you guys next time.